Hello, everybody. Hello, good people. Um, Let me know that you can hear me by typing receipts in the chat. As I can see that I need to clean because I have my bowl of receipts that have nothing to do with this, but what we're about to talk about is a bowl bigger than this full of receipts. But there you go. Thank you, Diamond Heart. The Homegirl Healer, I love that name. Homegirl Healer, Deborah, Yolanda, Precious D, Trikesha, Alice, where you at? I need you. where my background, background moderators at, y'all? I need y'all. But thank you to everyone I mentioned and all the rest of you for letting me know that you can hear me by typing the word receipts. Because Larry got a bigger bowl than. Let me stop. I'm getting started too early. I miss y'all, so I got a lot of shenanigans built up in me. So let me calm down. We got time. Anyway, as you enter this, please let me know that you appreciate the fact that we are back by liking this video below. And if you're new to this channel, this would be a great time to hit that subscribe button below as well. And welcome to everyone on Facebook and Twitter and Twitch, which I never check, but we're live over there. I don't know who over there, but thank you if you are live over there. Probably got 3 million people watching over there, and I don't know because I never go over there. But anyway, also just a reminder, as our friend Precious G said, please remember for everyone to watch your language and be respectful to everyone who is participating in this live stream, as well as myself. If you slip up with any curse words or words that we cannot use, our purpose-driven moderators will be more than happy to assist you in any mistakes you make by deleting your comments. And so tonight, this one has been a topic that I have known about for years. And I have been hesitant to dig in. And I ain't gonna really dig in tonight either. I'm just going to be stating what is public record. And okay, thank you, Alice. I'm just going to be stating what is public record, and I'm going to just present the information and let you guys, process it and come to your own conclusions. And then time will tell the rest. But what has happened as of late, for those of you, I'm not sure how many of you are familiar, but this guy here is named Larry D. Reid. He is an internet commentator and preacher and blogger and gossiper and I don't know, whatever else. And he is being accused by many young men, and particularly tonight we're talking about one, but he's been accused for years by multiple young men that he was inappropriate and was a pedo, is a pedo, allegedly, according to them. So what we're going to talk about tonight is the fact that Tasha K on yesterday evening did an interview with one of the alleged pedo survivors. And his name is Levante Andrews. And he is now a grown man. He's an adult. And he's telling his story. Now, his story has come out before, but on a very smaller platform. So it didn't get this kind of exposure. So the fact that Tasha K has, a little over 1 million subscribers means that when she talks about something like this, it's going to take off. And it's on purpose as well. I'm trying to really watch my words. I can't wait to get on Patreon. We talk over there, y'all. And if you don't know, we do have a Patreon, and you can become a member. We do our Thursday night live streams. Well, it's Veil Unfiltered. Plus, now we have our Veil Unfiltered podcast. So you can feel free to join our Patreon for that. And our podcast are multiple times a week. But anyway, Larry and Tasha K were friends before, internet friends. They were friends. And they've fallen out recently, and there's been some drama with that. We can't go down that rabbit hole. We got a fork in the road. We got to keep going where we're going. We can't go all over the place. We'll never get there. So they got they thing that happened, went down, they fell out, whatever. So now Tasha K is kind of like, all bets are off. I'm going to air out this story, the stuff that's been going on. And so according to Tasha K, she actually has 4 alleged survivors who are now willing to speak, and she's doing a 3-part series on it, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if it's a 3-part on each survivor or a 3-parter that includes all 4. I'm not sure how she's doing it, but on last night she gave a 45-minute excerpt from a 2.5-hour interview that she did with Levantre. And so what I will share is so I did watch that. She also was saying that she had more information, or the full 2.5 hours, and his mom, Levantre's mom, gets on there as well. She has all of that content, but you have to pay for it and go, be on her platform. And I ain't doing all that. So all I can say is what I saw last night, the 45 minutes. Maybe some of y'all did. Y'all can add in the comments as we get to them. What else may have been stated behind the paywall. But according to Levantre, Larry Reid was his minister, his pastor, his spiritual leader, etc., while he was a teenager, somewhere between the age of 14 to 17, somewhere up in there. He gave the timeline, but it's me. I'm saying that it was in that range. And so he was saying during that time, his mom was a single mom. She started going to Larry's church. She wanted someone to, like a male figure, positive male figure, to be in her son's life. And that's not unlike many women who may have, be raising a young man and they want that positive male influence, hopefully not predatory influence. But anyway, she really leaned into like, oh, this is, he's interested in my son. She ain't know that way, but interested in my son and helping him, grooming him, showing him how to be a man. Let me stop. I'm doing too much, y'all. It's built up, y'all, and I'm trying. Oh, I could go there. But so this young man, Levantre, at the age of 15-ish, he ends up moving in with Larry Reid. And this is Levantre's story. This is what he said on Tasha K interview. And he said that basically, once he became an adult, he realized that Larry Reid had been grooming him so that he could take advantage of him in a sexual manner. So he spoke about how, he's a straight young man. He was always a straight young man. He never had interest in males. He was only interested in females. And I guess it didn't mean nothing to Larry Reid, according to Levantre. So he says that Larry Reid comes to him one day, and he said he was a great mentor. He taught him a lot, took care of him, all this. Like he gave him his accolades, and he did say like it really was a relationship in which it was like a father figure. It's just this father figure crossed the line big time. And so he said that one day Larry Reid came to him and was like, basically, God spoke to me, all these things, and says that you're either going to be a womanizer or gay. And the guy's like, what? He's like, I'm definitely not gay. And he's like, well, I do have the potential to be a womanizer. Like, he was a young guy who was sexually active with females and all of that. And, and his father was a womanizer. So in his mind, he was like, well, I can see myself being a womanizer, but not gay because I'm not gay. And so he says that it was Larry Reid's way of kind of opening the door to bring doubt in the guy's mind, manipulation, and to groom him. And so he says that he basically turned the sex crime into a spiritual act in his mind. And so he says that Larry later comes to him, like, this is over time. This is a time period of like little things happening. Another situation was Larry came to him and was like, you know, remember me telling you, you're either going to be a womanizer or gay. And he said he would always tell him things that would try to make him question his sexuality when he was not questioning it. Like, no, you should really be thinking that, you know, about, are you gay or straight? Like, no, I don't need to. I know I'm straight. I'm not, but you know what I'm saying. Levante is straight. He's saying he's straight. So Larry Reid, Levante says, and Larry Reid comes to him one day and says, I know how I can help you figure out if you're gay. Basically, I can test you. And so Levante says, now, after all this time of this grooming, he is kind of more open to like, I don't know. Now he has me questioning. I ain't having the feelings. I'm not into it. But I don't know. He's telling me, this man who is like a father figure, got a great mouthpiece. I mean, some of us who know of Larry Reid knows he's entertaining. He has a great mouthpiece. He is a orator and all of those things. And he's using that against allegedly, according to Levante, he's using that against a teenager, a mind of a 15-year-old. We know men's minds don't mature till they say what, the age of 25. This dude got 10 more years for his mind is strong enough. Can't nobody convince me that I'm straight at this point in my life. But at 15, people were. I was struggling because people kept telling me I'm supposed to be gay. I mean, straight. And I knew I was gay, but people was telling me I should be straight. So I kept trying to be straight, even though I was gay. Whole thing. Imagine it being flipped. So anyway, so he says he tells him, I can test you. Like we can make sure, we can figure this out for you because you confused. You ain't saying you're confused, but I'm telling you you're confused. Let me help you figure out this confusion that you don't have that I keep telling you got. So he says he got in his head and he was like, okay, now he's like, okay, I want to be tested. Like, I want to know. And so he says he doesn't hear anything else about it from Larry. And he says so much so, like he's like antsy about it at this point where he wants to know what's happening. Like, when you gonna test me? He says, you know, Larry's playing it cool or whatever. He's like, so much so that he was asking around other people because he didn't, at that point, it didn't even seem predatory or wrong or whatever. He's just a kid trying to be like, well, my spiritual father, this man who's taking care of me, is telling me I'm lost, that he gonna help me. And so I need to be helped. So he says eventually he's at Larry Reid's home. It's him. He said Larry was supposed to be at church for something. He didn't go into church. He didn't go preach at church for whatever reason that day. Well, we know what reason. According to Levante, he says Larry Reid comes out of his bedroom. He is draped in a blanket. He said a zebra print blanket, and he tells Levante come to his room. Levante says he come to his room. Larry is draped in this zebra print blanket, butt ass naked, and tells Levante to take off his clothes, like completely take off his clothes. This is a teenager now. This ain't no grown man. And he tells him, then sit down next to me. He says he and Larry sat down. Yeah, thank you, Diamond Heart. Yes, that I wish I could be having y'all comments going on the screen at the same time, but I can't multitask. I'm gonna get thrown off on my story. Not my story, Levante's real life story that I'm looking at my notes over here too. But he says that he sits down on the floor. He says Larry Reid at the time had a black futon, and he said they sat on the floor right up against the black futon. Very detailed, as you're saying, Diamond Heart. The details were crazy. This is kind of how you can tell when someone is being honest, when there's a lot of details. Unlike the person who is responding, who gives zero details and just drags people and makes up how people are jealous and I'm rich and all of this stuff. Sounds familiar for those of you who follow me on the Darius Crooks thing. So he says they sit down next to each other. He said they're sitting Indian style, given this level of detail. These are not my words. These are Levantre's words. And he says that he says Larry Reid then reaches over, grabs his MacBook laptop, for those of you who don't know, MacBook laptop, and he says it was an older version. And he says Larry Reid then starts playing gay porn. I guess I can say that on here. It's YouTube, y'all. They mess my videos up with monetization with certain words, but puts on gay porn. And Levantre says that was his first time ever seeing it as a heterosexual young man, teenager, impressionable, going through puberty, all that. He said that wasn't his thing. And he said he literally felt violently ill, like in his stomach, and like hurled like, oh God, like that's not his thing. Nothing wrong with being homosexual, but if it ain't your thing, it ain't your thing. Just like if you gay and straight ain't your thing, it just ain't your thing. So he says he does that. He says Larry Reid's response was laughing at him like, man, come on, like this ain't nothing, you know, that kind of thing. So he's grooming him. That's so that was, and then he said in that moment, if I'm not mistaken, was when he first, yes, he said that was when when Larry Reid first touched him. You know, he's butt naked, he's stroking him, and I can't remember details like in that. I think it was mostly like touching, stroking kind of thing. Y'all know what I'm talking about. He then says, so Tasha K added her piece in this too, where she says that because there was a question of, some people don't know, well, some people are still questioning whether or not Larry Reid is gay. And Tasha K was basically saying that, and I don't know if it was Levantre or somebody else I heard saying that he doesn't admit to being gay. I think maybe Tasha K was saying he doesn't say he's gay, but he says he's done everything. And basically he's been open to everything, but he stopped short of calling himself gay or bisexual or anything like that. But so Levantre, back to Levantre's story. Well, no. So Tasha K was saying that she actually, there's a video out there. I don't know. I haven't seen it. I didn't quite get where I could find it, but she was saying that there was a video out there of Larry Reid. She said, because he's really into edibles now. Reminds me of somebody else, Darius Crooks. Because, you know, that sin, it eats you up. The devil will bless you with things monetary and give you the appearance of righteousness and having things. And so people who are easily influenced are like, oh, but they got money and they making money, so that mean they right. What? Get your mind right. The devil blesses people like that. The problem with that is that with the devil's agreement, you're always going to pay for it in the end, and you're going to pay for it with your mind, and of course, you know, years in hell, the rest of your being in hell. But people start to need edibles and all of those things to function sometimes when they commit so many evil deeds throughout their day, and they live a lie constantly. That eats at you. It eats at you. So she said that Larry Reid was on one of his, some video that she says exists, and I do believe this, and I will do a disclaimer and say I don't believe everything Tasha K says, so don't walk away from here like Vail believe everything. You know, I don't. But some things I know how to decipher and use discernment, and so with this, but she says that he ended up saying in a video that is out there that he has given head, and he has had head plus rolled, sat on head. And she said he was so high and just talk, and just said it. I can see it because he's like an old church queen. Anyway, back to Levantre, because we don't want to get too sidetracked. He then tells of another story of the kind of the next, I hate to say big thing, like that wasn't big enough what I just described, and sick enough. But he said the next thing was Larry Reid is really into getting massages. This is something I found out yesterday through this interview. Even Tasha K was saying, with her being his friend, there were many occasions she would be on the phone with him, etc. Be like, "What you doing?" And he's like, "Oh, you know, I'm getting a massage," or I'm traveling with my assistant. He has a person who travels with him for the purpose of giving him massages. So anyway, this is getting long as hell. This is 25 minutes of an intro. I ain't even gotten to the damn court doc yet. I don't want to make this a two-parter. But anyway, so he's really into massages. So this has kind of been proven, and the young man Levante says this as well. So rewinding back to when Levante is underage, whether he was 15 or 17, because I've heard the person try to spin it and say he was actually 17 when I met him. That's still underage, and he still wasn't a gay man. He was a straight boy who wasn't interested in being manipulated psychologically for your physical pleasure and scarring people for the rest of their life. But he says that one day he was giving Larry Reid a massage because he always wanted massages and he loves to give them as well. And he says as he was giving him a massage, the next thing you know, he, as in Larry, began to give him fellatio. For those of you who don't, I'm trying to use words that won't get me in trouble on YouTube. So y'all up your vocabulary if y'all know what that means. So he gave him fellatio. And he said, as Larry was doing it, he jumped back like, hey, what you doing? And he's like, man, you know, this is you taking care of me, like I'm your spiritual leader, you know, all this kind of stuff. And it's, you know, holy. This is holy. This is a holy bonding experience. Just ridiculousness. And Levante said that he gave in because he's like, although I'm not into this, he kept saying, this is Reid. This like, it's like my spiritual father. Like, so if he needs something, no matter how much it goes against the core of who I am, I trust him enough. And that's how predators groom people till they feel guilty about having limits. This is a lot, y'all. So yesterday, I listened to that with a bunch of other people, thousands. It was like 10,000 in the live stream alone. And it was heavy. It was heavy. That's why I didn't go live yesterday. I was supposed to go live yesterday. It was just too much. I had to process that. It's kind of triggered. Tasha K being, special massages, Trikesha. Tasha K, then she, you know, she gets ratchet. She had to go there. And I'm just telling y'all what happened. She then asked it ain't too much till I say what I'm about to say now. She then asked him if Larry Reid had him complete inside of his mouth. So if Levante completed himself inside of Larry's mouth. Levante said that, yeah, I think that happened once. I don't know about that one, though. But for some reason, there's a rumor out there that this is what he likes. I'm not sure if she was just being messy and just throwing that out there. And Levante's answer wasn't like, oh, yeah, he always wanted me to do it. It was like, yeah, I think at least once. Don't know. Maybe not. But this is how deep that was going. You know, Paula C., that's the funny thing is that as I was listening last night, really, you know what? More than anything, as I was listening, but also reading the comments in the chat and other places, and on Larry Reid, his response video, I was watching the people in the comments upholding him and acting like he's, you know, some great spiritual leader. And the first person came to mind was Eddie Long. How literally he got away with that stuff until his final days almost, and was just known to really be into the young boys. So I don't know. And it's like, you know, you throw God in it and people are like, oh no, he's a spiritual person. So all bets are off. He can do and say anything. So part of what Larry Reid has been saying is the issue here. It's not that he's actually a pedo. It's that these people who are coming out are jealous of him. It's because he's successful. It's because he no longer has these people in his life. Not that they chose not to be in his life, but that they're no longer in his life, so they're jealous of his success. So this is what people do when they're jealous of your success. They make up detailed accounts of you being a pedo and for years with them, like and multiple accusers with such great detail. But you know, that's what people do. So anyway, what has occurred because of this is that Larry Reid has he filed a lawsuit against Levontre. So to say that basically he's lying or whatever, and you know, I guess it's supposed to be a defamation suit, I guess, but we'll see as I read how unclear some of this stuff is. So let's see how we're gonna do this. Let's get into so on Thursday, October the 13th of 2022. So this is very recent. Now, mind you, when I said that I've been hearing about this for years, like years, literally when I first heard of Larry Reid, I don't know, somehow I was watching his YouTube, it popped up, I watched it, I was actually interested, I was entertained, and I started listening. This was during the pandemic. I started listening more regularly. It was like within a matter of a couple of weeks, all of a sudden I started seeing the surviving Larry Reid, and I went down that rabbit hole and was like, I will not be over there. Also, my spirit of discernment as I listened to him was honestly had kicked in as well. So that was just for me the icing on the cake. Yeah, like the OCA says, for the love of money. Yeah. Okay, so what we're gonna do is hop into, bear with me, y'all, because y'all know I'm rusty. We ain't been on here in a minute. We want to do the window. Ooh, do the window. You know what I'm gonna do? No, that ain't gonna work. Hold on, y'all. I should have. Which one do I want? Bring up the right document. The one that says, I think that's it. Hopefully. Yes, good. Look at God. Won't he do it? Oh, let me take this down. Can I make this a little bigger? Oh, I know what I meant to do. Bear with me, y'all. Bear with me. There we go. Okay, so this is the introduction of the lawsuit that Larry Reid filed against Levontre because of these allegations. So this was him saying, how dare you accuse me of these things, these egregious acts, calling me a pedo. That is not who I am. And so on October 13th of 2022, now mind you, as I was saying, I lost my train of thought. I forgot to finish it. I had been hearing about Larry Reid for years. So when I pulled this up earlier today, I was like, oh, this case is recent. So what about the other shit I heard about years ago? I thought this was related to that. This something, what? What about the other people? For some reason, I guess this one was getting more attention. And so it's like, well, let me try to silence this person. Allegedly. Okay, so let me get into it. So mind you, this is not criminal. This is civil. Mind you, this is not Levontre filing a suit against Larry Reid. This is Larry Reid filing a suit against Levontre, who is his alleged pedo survivor. So in this document, and I'm only leaving that one on the screen. I'm going to be reading to you. It says here, the plaintiff, Larry D. Reid, is an ordained minister, author, songwriter, gospel recording artist. I never heard any of his music. Y'all, let me know in the chat. Is his music actually good? Is it like R. Kelly, where the music is good, but he's just a straight up horrendous predator? Actor. Reid is also well known as an online commentator who discusses matters involving pop culture, politics, and religious leaders and their movements. And they ain't say nothing about the gossip and dragging. Okay. It says plaintiff Larry Reid Live LLC is sponsored by the MBN Network, which is a 501(c) compliant ministry. LRL airs to a combined audience of nearly 400,000 people weekly on Facebook and YouTube, with over 32 million views on YouTube alone. I don't know why this is, well, I guess, okay. I guess if we're going towards a defamation piece, this is important. It says Reid and LRL are referred to collectively as the plaintiff. So Larry Reid is filing this lawsuit not only in his name, but in the name of his company, because he's like, these accusations are affecting me personally and my business, allegedly. What I found interesting is that he has been able to, with him moving his ministry online, because for those of you, this is bothering me, I'm gonna take this down, y'all. For those of you who don't know, Larry Reid was a minister, was a pastor of a church, and was ousted, allegedly, due to similar allegations of what we're talking about tonight, and literally got kicked out of his church, ran off, and then, you know, he found his way. He's was a substitute teacher, all this stuff, and he ended up finding his way online. Started out with just general gossip blogging. Because he had this church background, he ended up moving into the church sector of YouTube, meaning just talking about church gossip, you know, ministers and other pedos and people cheating on their wives and people robbing the churches, all the stuff he does, allegedly, that people have said he does. Not me, other people. But he took that format and now calls it a church. And it's nonprofit, like churches are. So the YouTube revenue you get and the Patreon revenue you get and the donations, the cash apps or whatever else you get, it's not in my name. It's in the name of the church. All tax free. I'm like, God damn it. Coming your way, summer of 2023 is going to be Vail B's Missionary Baptist Church online. We're starting a movement over here. It's going to be a church. It's going to be every denomination too, because I need to get all y'all. We Jewish, we Buddha, we Buddhists, we everything. Muslim. I'm gonna get all y'all donations. Let me stop. Okay, so back to this, because this is a very serious topic, of course. But you know how I am. I don't like to be down too long, so I like to laugh here and there to just lighten it up, because this is depressing. Because the predator is still thriving and living out here and hurting people. Anyway, defendant Levontre Andrews, angry. Now, this again, keep in mind, this is Larry Reid's filing, and this is what he's saying about Levontre. Not the court is saying this. This is what Larry Reid and his attorney is saying. So it says the defendant Levontre Andrews, angry with Reid for unrelated matters, has knowingly decimated false allegations on at least 2 social media platforms, alleging that he was molested by Reid. Oops, I shouldn't have said that where I'm on YouTube. By Reid almost 20 years ago, during the time Reid was a pastor in North Carolina, before getting run off. It says the purpose of the smear campaign. I've heard those words before from the Darius Crooks camp. Says the purpose of this smear campaign is to cause humiliation and embarrassment and to tarnish the reputation of Reid and the LRL brand. Okay. So it goes on to say the party's jurisdiction and venue. It says Reid, number 4 said, Reid is an individual resident of Fulton County, Georgia. Says number 5, LRL, Larry Reid Live, is a limited liability company organized under the laws of state. Okay, we ain't got to read all that. Okay, we ain't got to read that either. Says number 7, this court has jurisdiction over the matter pursuant to, and it gives legalese, and it says in the amount of the controversy exceeds $75,000, and there is complete diversity of citizenship between parties. So I think he was suing for $75,000 for defamation. This was sound like what I haven't seen the words, but it seemed like that's the direction he's taking. It says this court has personal jurisdiction over defendant. So they're saying this is where Levante lives, or at least they assume he lived. Says venue in this court is proper pursuant to, and it gives that legalese, and it says in that the defendant, the resident of, and it gives his county in North Carolina. So they're saying basically reiterating that we're filing in this particular jurisdiction because this is where Levante lives. Says factual background. As outlined in the introduction above, Reid is an ordained minister whose ministry was centered around deliverance, hallelujah, and restoration. Look at him preaching in a court document. Says he also provided housing for certain displaced members of the congregation and troubled youth, probably all male, within his home and homes of other church leadership. Ooh, was this a ring like R. Kelly? Says allegedly. Let me stop. Let me stop, y'all. Allegedly. Y'all try to get me in trouble. Maybe before I report on stuff like this, we need to have some shenanigan live stream so I can get it out of my system and be more serious. Oh, Jesus. Says 11, from August of 2021 through March of 2007, Reid was the pastor of Breakthrough Church in Fayetteville, North Carolina, aka The Church. That's what they have on here. Which was a large congregation consisting. What? Which was a large congregation consisting of 125 members. When did 125 members become a large congregation? What? Ain't that just a normal size congregation? That would just be a nice size congregation. That's not large. Large is like thousands, isn't it? Like I went to a mega church in Chicago. We had like 10,000 members. Large? Large? Maybe they think the church don't know no better. Black folks, let me know in the right. Why you retract your comment, Pam's perspective. But y'all let me know in the comments. Am I off? Like in the black church, 125 is small still. Not small, but it's just like, it's a church. Small would be, you might, it's not large. Let me know. I feel like I'm out here by myself. I feel like he's lying in this document. Okay, so says the defendant's mother, okay, I ain't gonna say her name, but the defendant's mother was a member of the church and a leader within the congregation. Yes, this is because when you're grooming, you got to start with the person who is in charge, the parental figure. So you groom them just enough to get them to feel trusting enough to relinquish their prey to you. Then you start to groom them, and then that's where you're taking it all the way. It's kind of like Tim Norman, for those of y'all who've been following me, through that. What did he do? He gained the trust of Michelle Griggs, Andre's mom, to get her to relinquish her son, Andre, over to him, Tim being the predator. And then he preyed on Andre and unfortunately eventually took his life. Larry's not interested in taking his life, but he's interested in taking something else from these young boys. Allegedly, according to Levante and the other guys, the countless other people. The 4 that have come out, and whoever else, because sometimes people don't come out. I know this. I used to work at a nonprofit for people who were sexually abused. I know how this works. They don't always come out. Most times they don't. So when there's smoke, there's fire. If there's 4 that come out, there's probably 40 who haven't. That's just kind of how it works. I'm just telling you from a personal, professional perspective, what I know. It's what I learned. Anyway, number 13, it says, while a member of the church congregation, defendant's mother expressed her concerns about her then 15-year-old son. He just said it here. I swear. And the other thing I wish y'all was here with me with everything I've seen thus far getting to this point. In Larry Reid's response, he said the boy wasn't even 15 in his video he just did the other day. He said, and he lied. He wasn't 15. He was 17 when I met him. In your court document, you got your attorney typing that he was 15 years old, but you just said he lied and he was 17. This is why not only do you need to use this, I'm talking to y'all, I'm talking to my people. Because I know y'all watch other people and I'm okay with that. We can share the love. When y'all watching these people, because there's a lot of internet predators out here and it grieves my soul. I swear it's heavy, y'all. because I know better, and then I see people just following blindly. This is why you got to read this ish for yourself, because you'll have someone who is guilty and they ain't gonna say I'm guilty. Yeah, I did. I'm a pedo. Y'all caught me. Oh, I'm a thief. Yeah, I did rob all these people before y'all. They ain't gonna tell you, because then their gig is up. Of course, they gonna point the finger at the person and make up stuff. And if you're not fact checking them on your own, not based on what they say, you're not fact checking them on their own, they get away with ish like this. Anyway, back to this. I'm sorry. I ain't meaning to yell at y'all. I get passionate about it because this is crazy. Y'all already know this crazy. Anyway, back in this document, and for y'all, because it'll be some, I ain't gonna say the word. I ain't gonna say, ooh, y'all got me warmed up. I can't be taking too long and not being on here, because I was about to say, let me do it this way. Just for a second, because I ain't gonna keep. This is what did I just read? Number 13. Because I don't want anybody like, oh, he just said that. We didn't see it ourselves. Here we go. Number 13. I said 15. I threw myself off. While a member of the church congregation, defendant's mother expressed concerns about her then 15-year-old son and his uncontrollable behavior, which included theft and lying. That's fine. He was a teenager, and yes, he was up to something, but he was 15. You said that. You. Okay, let me move on. Y'all got me. Y'all working me up. Okay. So it says, as a result, the defendant's mother solicited, I love the wording. Y'all got to pay attention to these little nuances. Solicited the help of Reid's assistant pastor, Tremeco, well, I'll just say, of his assistant pastor, to mentor the defendant in hopes of changing his troubling behavior. So the mom didn't even really pick Larry. She picked the assistant pastor. Says Reid was not a part of his mentorship agreement, nor did he personally know that. I see how he did this. Oh, I see how you did this. So he's saying he was not a part of his mentorship agreement, nor did he personally know the defendant during his time. Okay, y'all got 125 members. Out of the 125, 100 of them are adults, at least 100 of them, because unless this is a youth church, and it wasn't, from what y'all saying. So you got 25 youth in your church, and you're the pastor, and you don't know of them. You don't really know them. You don't really know. 125. Come, and out of 125 people, everybody ain't coming every week. I grew up in the black church. I know how this works. Okay, but you ain't know him. That's what he's saying. Okay, he ain't know him. Reid was not a part of his mentorship agreement, nor did he personally know the defendant during his time. Bryant was part of the music department and helped the defendant develop his skills on the drums as a part of his mentorship agreement. So Levantre is a musician. He's a drummer. So he's saying, I had no parts of this. He was around. He was in my large. Now, think about it. That's why we put the word large church of being 125. Maybe should have left off the number. Just said large church. Because they said large church to make it like, oh, it's large. So of course he would know all of the youth there. And the dude and he played the drums. He's a part of the musicians. When you hooping and hollering up there and conning people out of money, he playing the drums behind the music to get the people worked up, so they give you extra $20. And you ain't know who he was? Get the fuck out of here. Okay, I'm sorry. Why y'all got me? Okay. It says, okay, so number 17 says, in 2007, the defendant, who was at the time 17, and his mother needed a place to live. The family moved from their home in a certain part of North Carolina to Raleigh with Bryant. So they moved in with the assistant pastor. As a part of his ministry, Bryant routinely allowed displaced families and their children to stay with him and his family until they got back on their feet. Okay. Says 18. While living with Bryant, defendant was introduced to Reid. Now, he'd been at the church for 2 years. He being mentored by the assistant pastor, who is the right hand of the pastor. And the pastor ain't never seeing the interaction. He up there playing the drums And he don't, well, I still ain't never met him. I don't know him. 2 years. Okay. All right, I'm just riding with it. It says, as a part of the ministry, Bryant routinely allowed displaced families and their children to stay with him. Oh, okay. Blah, blah. Says number 18, while living with Bryant, defendant was introduced finally after 2 years of being up there playing the drums and side by side being mentored by the assistant pastor. He's finally 2 years later being introduced. Okay, that's what they're saying. To read, despite Bryant's efforts and mentorship, the defendant continued to display troublesome and unruly behavior. It happens. It happens. He's a teenage boy, and he's in North Carolina in some area. I don't know where Rayford is. Y'all, some of y'all might know Rayford, North Carolina. I'm not sure if that's an area that youth struggle in. I'm not sure. Says in 2008, the defendant, who was unable to maintain a steady residence, requested and was allowed to move into the home owned by Reid, and they gave the address. Says number 20, after moving into that home, Andrew lived with Reid's nephews, gave the name of the nephews and an assistant. Reid and Vincent Hill moved out of, is that the same address? Yeah. Says then Reid and Vincent moved out of that house shortly after the defendant moved in. So it's like, no, see, as they were pulling their boxes in, I was taking mine out. So we wasn't like living together. We just had the same address for a moment until the post office rerouted my mail. So we ain't live together. So these lies he making up about me calling him into my bedroom from down the hall, that couldn't have happened because we was passing each other in the hallway with boxes. It says after Reid's departure from this home, another family member moved in. The defendant continued to engage in the same concerning and troublesome behavior and even stole his new housemate's vehicle in the middle of the night. Possible. As a result, the defendant was asked to leave the home. I'm still not seeing a moment where he deserves to be sexually assaulted, manipulated. Okay, so it's in 2009. But usually, when a child is troubled too, that's what predators love. Troubled children, they love them because they're already, in their mind, they're damaged. They're easier to control. Also, because they are troubled and they lie, because he mentioned it. He said that in here, lie and all of that. You can do things to them and people won't believe them. Smart predator moves. Not allegedly. If this was as a predator, these are things that they do. I'm not saying he is or he did, but these are things, this is how predators think. And some of us who have been victimized by predators, we kind of know these things. So I'm just letting y'all know what, some things I've learned along the way. Says, however, after 3 months, the defendant was, okay. However, oh no, I skipped a point. Sorry. Okay, yeah, stole the vehicle in the middle of the night. Okay, and number 22 is in 2009, Reid moved back in to the home. He moved back in the house. Okay, let's go. I'm sorry, y'all. Says, I gotta be professional. Number 22 is into shit, y'all. I'm sorry. What? Why even talk about moving out? You move back in. Oh, Jesus, help us and help these predators. Protect our babies from these predators. Okay, and our grown folks. Jesus, I was just talking about the internet. The internet got a lot of predators. Protect y'all from these predators too. Says in 2009, Reid moved back into the house and allowed the defendant, who was by then homeless, to move back in. At the same time, 3 additional church members resided in the home. Were they all underage too? Number 23 says, however, after 3 months, the defendant was again asked to leave as he continued to break house rules by saying he couldn't be touched and he didn't want to be touched sexually. No, let me stop. No, seriously, let me go back. It says, however, after 3 months, the defendant was again asked to leave as he continued to break house rules and wreak havoc within the home and in Reid's ministry. Okay, number 24. The defendant began a sexual relationship with Ash. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me not say the person's name. So the defendant, Levante, began a relationship with a young lady who was a leader in the church about 5 years his senior. So she was older. This is something Levante actually talked about in his Tasha K interview. And he says they were both asked to leave the ministry. Just like allegedly Larry Reid would have asked to leave the ministry years later for doing it with kids. Allegedly. It says eventually the defendant and Miss Andrews apologized and asked to come back into the ministry. Reid allowed them to come back to the church. Okay. 25. Defendant and Miss maybe it was like, I don't want you to be with her. I want you to be with me. So I'm gonna kick you out the church. No. Y'all so bad. It says 25. The defendant and Miss Andrews returned to the ministry. This is supposed to be Miss, I guess, and continued to communicate, socialize, and participate in Reid's Billboard chart-topping music group. Oh, I guess he had a good music group there. And continued the ministerial relationship with Reid for years. So again, this is the other approach that, and again, I'm not calling him a predator. I'm just telling y'all what predators do. So the other tactic or excuse they use is, well, if that happened, why was you still around me after you say it happened? Because they've been groomed. It's called Stockholm syndrome. There are people who've been kidnapped by people and tortured, and then when they are given freedom, they don't want to leave that the person who victimized them. They're predators. It happens. It's mental, psychological. It's the stuff that a predator has worked on to get that brain to operate like that. That's why. Okay, so 26 is, however, in 2017, Reid decided to dismantle his brick and mortar church completely, and all but severed all completely and severed all communication with all. I gotta take a drink on this for y'all because this shit. I mean, these court documents, so it is what it is. Okay, so it says number 26. I'm gonna try this again, see if I can get through it this time. However, in 2017, Reid decided to dismantle his brick and mortar church completely and severed all communication with all members. Upon information and belief, this enraged the defendant and led him to begin a smear campaign with is the subject of this complaint, which is that's a typo, which is the subject of this complaint. Dismantle the brick and mortar church. You got 125 members and you stopped talking to all of them? What, they were all pedos? Like, were you getting away from the pedos? Or was the pedo getting away from the people who found out about the pedo? Okay. Well, allegedly. It says Reid is an online personality who produces and appears in YouTube videos, programs on a YouTube channel called Larry Reid Live through LRL. The LRL channel has over 130,000 subscribers with over 32 million views. Woo! Woo. It says 28. He's successful. That's why everybody jealous. It says number 28. The program Larry Reid Live began streaming in June of 2016. It is freely available on YouTube and promoted in various ways, including by an associated business Facebook page. Okay, so is mine. Okay. I didn't know that was an accomplishment. I need to start putting that on my resume. I have a business Facebook page. Join it. Don't forget, I am VelB on all platforms. It says number 29. The program is supported by its Patreon subscribers and by advertising and donations. It says, as a result, remember that's all tax deductible too. Not tax free. Remember, because this is a church. This is a church. Says, as a result, the program generates considerable revenue. No, all tax free. Sure do. I bet it does. Says the plurality of this is generated through Patreon subscriptions. Oh, interesting. That's what the church technically is housed, like where they really do their church thing is on the Patreon, from what I can tell. Says which accounts for a substantial fraction of LRL's gross monthly revenue. I don't know if you need to tell all that. Okay. Says number 30 is an episode of the program's initially streamed. No, it says episodes of the program initially streamed live and past episodes remain available on the LRL channel and may be viewed after their first live stream. Okay, I don't know why this is important. Says 31. The episodes generally follow a talk show format with monologues by Reid, discussions of a variety of topics, remote interviews with guests, music, live calls with viewers who engage with Reid on topics presented on the program. During each episode, the viewers may also comment online. They're talking about the chat like y'all doing down there and laughing and stuff and throwing me off. And it says, and those comments appear in real time as a text stream that appears besides the video. It's the chat. They could have just said it's the chat. Says number 32. Let me see. Is this worth reading? Let me see. Okay, maybe. Let's see. 32 says Reid discusses a variety of topics, most of which are centered on faith, spirituality, the gospel, personal and spiritual growth. That's where the grooming comes in. And the events and affairs in faith communities familiar to Reid and his viewers. Church gossip. Says number 33 is Reid does so in a humorous and relatable way intended to be accessible to a broad audience. Yes, casting a wide net for these tax-free tithing dollars on the Patreon. Says Reid reviews books, discusses music, and comments on personalities and trends in the ministry and events in the church, including what he considers to be effects of greed. Like somebody who hypocrisy. I'm reading what they got here now. Hypocrisy and scandal. That could be the title of this video. Greed, hypocrisy, and scandal. Okay, so it says he also discusses general and non-religious matters such as current events, dragging people, cultural happenings, controversial topics, and politics. Number 34 says the episode of the program also, I don't know. Okay, wait. We don't care about all that. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Let's keep going. I'm skipping y'all. Let's see. Because I want to get to the response too. So we're talking about him. Approximately 380 subscribers follow across his platforms, the Facebook and YouTube. His gross revenues online estimated between $40,000 to $60,000 per month. And that's what his Facebook and YouTube, 40 to 60,000 a month. Says the program, its subscribers, its advertising revenues are central activities upon other income stream depends. Okay, so basically they're trying to make the case to say this is the platform. These are his platforms. This is how he makes his money. This is this sort of scandal. This is how it could affect him, so to speak. They're laying a framework for it. So it says the defendant's campaign against Reid. Says number 38 is beginning in December of 2019. Social media personality Daryl Moore began to disseminate a series of videos and live streaming videos on YouTube, which persistently and with growing intensity leveled defamation allegations against Reid, including false allegations that Reid had sexually molested defendant. Should have said multiple people, because it's not just him. So this is probably, I don't know the name of the YouTuber or the rabbit hole I started going down years ago. I don't know who they were, the channels and all of that. But there was a Surviving Larry Reid series out there and other videos. So there was like a hashtag surviving Larry Reid thing going on. And so he did sue the YouTuber. I don't know really what happened. That unfortunately I didn't really follow it like that. But yeah. So it says number 39. It says on his YouTube channel, Moore revealed a 2018 police report cover from Raleigh, North Carolina. The police report cover does not bear Reid's name, but shows the address, the home address, the one we were just talking about that Reid moved out of when Levontre moved in the day, I guess, they was walking past each other, and then he moved back in. Then Reid moved back in. He says the home address is an allegation of forcible fondling. Reid was never made aware of this incident report prior to Moore's YouTube channel. Does that make it not true because you weren't aware of it? So because I interrupted, let's reread this so y'all clear on what we're doing, what we're saying here. It says number 39 on his YouTube channel, Moore, who was the YouTuber, revealed a 2018 police report cover from Raleigh, North Carolina. The report cover does not bear Reid's name, but shows the address, the home address, and reflects an allegation of forcible fondling. So was there more of it going on? It says Reid was never made aware of this incident report prior to the YouTube video. I'm confused at how that doesn't make it not true. Because, okay, he supposedly lied, but he lied so much that back in 2018, he went as far, or whatever parental guardians or whatever, also went as far as to file a police report. Okay, I'm lost. This is a question. I'm not accusing nobody because I don't know. I'm asking questions. I'm just having us think together. Y'all help me. Says 40. Moore invited the defendant on his YouTube channel. So they're saying that this YouTuber invited Levontre on his YouTube channel, where Levontre claimed that he filed this police report against Reid, alleging that he reported that he was molested at the age of 14. Reid was never contacted. No charges were ever brought, and there is currently no active investigation into this claim by the Raleigh Police Department. Okay, we just got to take this word for it because I don't know no more than this. It says, after Andrew's interview with Moore's platform on April 20th of 2021, y'all see how recent this issue is? Says Reid sent a cease and desist to the defendant through his counsel. So at that point, April of 2021, Larry Reid sent a cease and desist to Levontre. As a result of this cease and desist letter, it appears that Andrews refrained from spreading the false child molestation rumors until his most recent alliance with Larry Lamar Whitehead. So he's talking about Bishop Whitehead, the one who got his church robbed. I don't even know if we ever figured out if that was true or not. The one who's like a flashy preacher, driving Rolls Royces, Bentleys, or whatever, and he got his church robbed. And they only robbed him and his wife or something. So that's who they're talking about here. Hey, Diva says, shaking my head, allegedly doing his heinous deeds all throughout the Moonshine State, Fayette, Rayford, Host Mill, and Raleigh. Oh, and is this something you know? Because I know you live in that area. Is this something word around town? Is this word around town? I heard there's a word around town. I don't know if that's what you're saying, but I've heard that there's word around town. I don't live in North Carolina, and I've heard here in the Midwest, I've heard. Anyway, so what this is saying in this complaint is that when he got sent the cease and desist, all of a sudden he was silent. He stopped. Well, that's not what I've been hearing. I've been hearing that he wasn't that platform wasn't big enough, meaning that YouTuber's channel wasn't a Tasha K. And so whereas Tasha K speaks on something and it just, you got like today alone, I saw at least 50 videos talking about this. 50 different YouTubers. When you're a small YouTuber with, 5,000 or 1,000 subscribers, things don't spread like that. And so What I'm hearing is that it wasn't that Levante stopped talking. It was that the places where he was sharing his story weren't big enough to get it out to the masses. This is saying something different. This is saying, well, he was quiet because we didn't hear from him. People with large platforms will do that, though. Darius Crooks does that. Like, I ain't heard nobody started talking about me being a scammer until I closed my restaurants. That's a fucking lie. They've been talking about you since 2014. There's documented proof. The problem is these were small platforms and people didn't really know about them. That's why I'm here, to help spread the word more now that my platform has grown some more. And we coming back to that, y'all. I had to take a little mental break from the foolishness. So toxic. So much toxicity out here. Anyway, 43 says, on July 24th of 2022. Oh, now he's finna talk about Bishop Whitehead and Nate drama. I don't care about that. We can maybe talk about that one day, but this we don't need to do. Yeah, so it talks about the robbery I just mentioned with Whitehead. Y'all kind of know Whitehead has been now arrested by the FBI, right? I don't know. I think he's out on bail or something, but yeah, he got his own stuff. But that ain't got nothing to do with you being. That ain't got nothing to do with the allegations of being a pedo. But that's what pedos like to do. You know, predators. They like to be like, but look over there. No, look over there. No, look over there. Like, what's this got to do with what we talking about right here? So the claim is that because Larry Reid was dragging Whitehead when all the stuff was going on with Whitehead and everybody was talking about it was going viral, Larry Reid leaned into the story as well, but kept going and kept picking at Whitehead as well. They eventually started falling out. I think there was supposed to be lawsuits and all this other foolishness. I don't think that stuff really happened. But Larry Reid's position is Whitehead then reached out to Levante because it's like, oh, let me find some dirt on you. And I know this dude is this is where it's lying on you. So I'm going to pull him up and I'm going to redrum that up. What I'm hearing is that there are at least 4 other survivors willing to talk about their allegations against Larry Reid, and Bishop Whitehead was able to get in contact with these people. Not that he created them. They were already there. Okay, so yeah, there's more talk about Whitehead's channel. Reid took his platform, denounced it. Again, we got so much to get to with Levante, and I don't want to get distracted with the Whitehead stuff. Let me see. Oh, okay. Here we go. Wait, give me a second. Because I honestly, this is a blind read. That's why I titled it like this is blind reaction. I haven't read this in depth. Okay, here we go. So I might have skipped. Well, hold on, y'all. I'm sorry. Channel. Okay, here we go. We're gonna say, yeah. Every time I'm like, okay, I'm gonna start here, I see something else on the next line, like, oh, I should read that too. Whitehead. I'll start here just to give a little closure to the Whitehead thing in a way. It says number 44, Whitehead, upset with Reid for publicizing the robbery, began a campaign again. Everybody doing these campaigns. A campaign against Reid. Whitehead obtained the videos of more interview with Andrew and created an exposing Reid segment on his Facebook platform where he played the interviews for thousands of viewers. Well, ain't that what he was doing with his story? Says during the videos, the defendant defamatory statements were rebroadcast to a much wider audience. During the videos, the defendant's defamatory statements were rebroadcast to a much wider audience. This is what I just told y'all. Because that matters, the size of the audience. It wasn't that Levante stopped talking. It was that he was talking to smaller audience and it wasn't getting no buzz. But when he connected with Whitehead, and Whitehead had a large enough audience to then make it uncomfortable for Larry Reid, then we got a problem. Now I'm finna go down to this courthouse on the 13th, October 13th, and I'm finna file something. Okay. Number 45 says, prior to the release of the video on Whitehead's channel, Reid took to his platform to denounce all of the rehashed claims. Again, because he was familiar. And it says rehashed claims, not the rehashed claim as in singular. He said claims, meaning he knows that there is more than one accuser. We're just talking about one of them right now. Says Reid reiterated that these allegations are false and that he did not know the defendant when he was a minor. Oh, I didn't know him when he was a minor. He was 18, so I could touch him. Like, I met him when he was 17, but I ain't touched him until he's 18. Like, I don't know. I don't know what that means. If I had time, I would put this timeline together for y'all in a graphic, because the math ain't mathing. The math ain't mathing. But anyway, number 46. We ain't got time for all that. We still ain't even got to Levantre's. We've been on here an hour 15. Okay. And Levantre's is longer. So it says Whitehead eventually removed all the videos produced by Moore, including the interview by Andrews, but not before they were viewed thousands of times. However, on October 8th of 2022, Whitehead announced on his Facebook page that he was going to have a guest on his live show who would accuse Larry Reid of sexual abuse and sexual because I can't keep saying that word, of a minor. This guest was the defendant. Says number 48. On the same day, on Whitehead's Facebook and YouTube platforms, defendant made the following allegations. So they're saying that Levantre made the following allegations. So he literally said, and they gave the timestamps, at 52 minutes, 19 seconds, 35 milliseconds. He says, quote, Larry Reid, well, I'm quoting, but I ain't going to say the word. Larry Reid M'd me. Larry Reid M'd me at 52 minutes, 19 seconds, 35 milliseconds. Next, he says, when asked about the open investigation in North Carolina, referring to his 2018 incident report, defendant claimed that the investigation in North Carolina is for sure still open, which falsely suggested that there is an active investigation by the Raleigh Police Department against Reid for misconduct. And that was at 1 hour, 12 minutes, 10 milliseconds. Then it says that his allegations of M is proven. So that's what Levantre said. And that was at 52 minutes, 31 seconds. Then it says at 54 minutes, 10 seconds, 21 milliseconds, says that the reality is he did something inappropriate with a teenager, a child. That's what Levantre said. He says, the reality is he did something inappropriate with a teenager, a child. And he just made this up. He just made this up. Like, this is okay. Okay. E, let's continue. At 54 minutes, 21 seconds, 31 milliseconds, says, in a nutshell, he M'd me. The next one is 55 minutes, 40 seconds, 44 milliseconds, says he, as in Reid, did things to him that gave him and gave it a spiritual basis. Again, 55 minutes, 40 seconds, 44 milliseconds. Levantre says he, as in Larry Reid, did things to him that gave it a spiritual basis. So he made it spiritual. God told me in a dream that I need to put my mouth on your peen. You got to do that because I'm your spiritual leader. Number 49, Jesus, help us, says each of these allegations is false. Now, we're back to the complaint itself. No quote. Says number 49, each of these allegations is false. It's completely made up. Reid never M'd the defendant. Further, the Raleigh Police Department is currently actively investigating. Further, the Raleigh Police Department is not currently actively investigating any claims of M against Reid, nor does the defendant prove his allegations are true. In fact, the defendant has not put forward any evidence to support his claims. Number 50. How many more pages we got of this? Because we still got to get to. Jesus, I'm on 9 of 13 pages. We might be getting towards the end, though. Y'all let me know. Y'all still with me? Y'all know how we do over here. I see somebody who's that dang, it's spilled your tea, purple lady. Whoo, y'all, Jesus. Okay. Yeah, I should have put a commercial in here. I didn't even think through that we need a commercial, and I need a break. Give me a minute. Not only is it a lot to read in general, it's a lot to take in, and this is my first time reading it. I wanted to read it live with y'all, though. I didn't want to read it and then know, and then, just be different. It's a lot, y'all. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's heavy. It's heavy, heavy. Okay, so where are we at? Okay, number 50. Andrew then used this time on Whitehead's platform to clean up the obvious discrepancies and contradictions in his initial allegations in the Moore interview. He now claims, A, he lived with Reid at several different locations, and that the particular home we talked about, the first one, I guess I could say the Al Street home, was the only address he could remember. I don't think that's a huge problem. I've lived places as I didn't house hop, like I wasn't a troubled child, but I could see that kind of, especially if you moved a lot. I don't know. Can y'all see that, him not necessarily remembering exact addresses? I don't know. B says, getting to the age thing, one of the other guys that I talked to, this is a quote from Levantre in the Whitehead interview. So at 53 minutes 36 seconds to 54 minutes 10 seconds, like they was watching these videos, his attorney or Larry Reid by himself, says, getting to the age thing, one of the other guys that I talked to a couple years ago did an interview with a guy, and me talking quickly, I said 14. But I was 15 when it happened. So this is Levantre. He's in the Whitehead interview, and he's straightening out anything that was potentially a contradiction or discrepancy. And so he says, getting to the age thing, one of the other guys that I talked to a couple years ago, so he's talking about a YouTuber who he interviewed with. He said, I did an interview with a guy, and me talking quick, I said 14, but I was 15 when it happened. Okay, well, have y'all ever misspoken your age? Do you know that for some reason when I was 42 years old, I would forget if I was 42 or 43. Like I that year, I don't know why it was hard for me to remember. No, it was 43. When I turned 43, it was hard for me to remember what my actual age was. I was like, am I 42 or 44? Like, so if we talk about something that was some years ago, I don't know if this makes it not that it didn't happen because I misspoke my age. Okay. 51. Despite knowing these allegations are false, the defendant has continued to make them publicly and seems to be willing to work with anyone who has a vendetta against Reid. I guess I got one too. No, I'm just I really don't. I don't care. I mean, yeah, it's a whole thing. And who will give him a platform to spew these vile and false allegations, vile like touching on children. Defendant clearly intends to, this is a typo. Says defendant clearly intends to Reid's reputation, brand, and livelihood. I guess to affect it or to ruin it. It's literally, the word is missing. To expose it. To expose his reputation, brand, and livelihood. I'll fill in the word. Okay, so it says for a first clause of action. So this is what he's asking, I guess. I'm not no attorney, so we're gonna find out. I could be totally wrong. Says number 52, the plaintiff and incorporated the alleged paragraphs of 1 through 51 of the complaint and all subparts thereof. Okay, I should have. As though fully set forth herein verbatim. Okay, let me proofread this rest of this because we might not need it. Okay, we'll read this one next. So 53 says, as set forth above in paragraph 48, and all the subparts thereof, and incorporated herein by reference, as though fully set forth, the defendant spoke based on. It sounds like he be preaching sometimes. The defendant spoke based or defamatory words which tended to prejudice Reid in his reputation, business, and means of livelihood, and which were intended to and did uphold up to ridicule, disgrace, and contempt by falsely accusing Reid of committing a crime involving moral perpetuity, specifically as abuse of a minor. Yes. Yes. That's what's happening. Yes. Says 54, the statements identified in paragraph 48 and all the subparts thereof, and fully incorporated herein by reference, as though fully set forth, are in fact false. 55, the statement identified in, okay, we're going to keep reading this foolishness. Okay, man, let's see. Says number 56, the defamatory statements made and published by defendants have damaged Reid's reputation and character within his profession and industry, and have interfered with his current and prospective business relationships. I'm pretty sure this has. I'm pretty sure this has. Says 57, defendant knew or should have known that his defamatory statements were made false, and he acted in reckless disregard of the truth or falsity of those statements when he made them. Defendant's actions constitute actual malice. So they're saying, like, he did this on purpose. He knew that, this would ruin Larry's livelihood and all that good stuff, and his reputation and how people see him. And yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I think that's the purpose. Yeah. It says the defendant's defamatory statements were published to a third party by way of broadcast on the Whitehead's YouTube channel. It says, as directed, proximate result of defendant's action, Reid has been damaged in the amount in excess of $75,000. I was trying to make sure. I was like, is that $750,000? $75,000, the exact amount to be shown at trial. So, well, they say in excess of $75,000. So that's going to be the minimum that he was asking for in this, is $75,000 from Levantre for the alleged lies. We're almost done with this one, right? Jesus, we got 3 more pages. Says the plaintiffs. Let me see, y'all. Do we need to extreme outrageous conduct cause Reid? So Larry Reid is saying in this that his intentional, extreme, and outrageous conduct intended to cause Reid severe emotional distress. It's almost like when you are pedo and you molest someone. I'm sorry, you M-word someone. You cause extreme and outrageous, and severe emotional distress on them for the rest of their lives. Interesting, the parallel. It's almost like karma or something. It says specifically, defendant has falsely accused Reid of sexual misconduct against him when he was a minor, as set forth in paragraph 48. It says, the false statements were outrageous and extreme. I'm like looking for these outrageous extreme parts, I guess. Seems somewhat aligned. And were intended to, in fact, cause. Okay, this is repeating. This looks like it's a total repeat. They called it torturous conduct. It says, as a direct and proximate result of the defendant's torturous conduct, Reid has been damaged in the excess of, and it's saying the same, $75,000. I don't want to miss nothing too important, but I think we got through the bulk of, yeah, there's just a lot of legalese and it's like the punitive damages. It's saying that as set forth herein, the defendant has acted willfully, wantonly, maliciously, and fraudulently. I'm just these words that just sticking out. I was like, I gotta read them. By making false and defamatory statements. It's like, cause we make up our mind. We using every word of egregious behavior. Says, excuse me, prayer for relief. That's actually court term. I've seen this before on other court documents because y'all know we read these court documents over here. Says, wherefore the plaintiff prays that wherefore plaintiffs pray that they be granted the following relief. Okay, so this is what he's actually asking. Larry Reid is asking for. The judgment be entered against the defendant in favor of the plaintiffs in excess of the $75,000 on each and all causes of action. Oh, okay. So I should have been paying more attention. So that's not 75,000 one time. That's 75,000 for each complaint or each part of it. So there are 4 of them. Do the math. What's that? 300,000, y'all? Is it? Am I right? Do the math. 75,000 times 4. I think it's 300,000, right? Yeah. So he's looked like he looked for 300,000. And it says that plaintiffs be awarded punitive damage against as the jury may determine. It says plaintiff be awarded costs at a reasonable attorney fee. So he wants his attorney fees. He wants to have a trial by jury. And for such further and relief as the court deems just and proper. All right. So thank you, Marlena Walker. So that is, and that was a lot. That was an hour. Well, no, because I talked a lot, the intro. So I guess that was an hour of me reading Larry Reid's initial filing against Levantre. I don't know why his name is barely, it's hard to stick in my head. Levantre, who is his accuser. So that happened. And then Levantre was served, and then he responded, and he was served, I think, on, I forgot, it was like maybe October 20th of 2022 he was served, and he responded on November 10th of 2022, and Larry Reid's initial filing was 13 pages. Y'all want to guess in the chat how many how many pages this alleged liar who's been malicious and torturous and willfully trying to destroy Larry Reid with these lies. He's lying. So when he's lying, like a liar can't come up with proof and stuff, and they ain't gonna really have much to say when you call them to the carpet. Like a real liar, they kind of obfuscate, smoke and mirrors. They don't really come with facts. That's what liars do. They say they just jealous of me because I'm rich. They hate me because I'm growing. I'm on TV. They hate me. That's so. He responded with this document, his statement of the nature of the matter before the court. His was, I lost my place already. His was, give me a second, y'all. I want to get the exact number. 30 pages. 30 pages. 30-page response. Oh, I love it. Oh, I love it. Yeah, you would have thought, right? Like a liar gonna give two-page, 3-page max response, like, you know. Oh, you called me. And I got to respond to the court, so I give you 2 pages, three max. Okay, so, y'all, I almost feel like I want to say, and on tomorrow's episode, we'll read Levantre's response. Oh, geez, we ain't gonna get through all of this. I know we not. And unfortunately, I should have. Now I feel like I should have read it all, so I could have highlighted and jumped around. Okay, at least it looks like one of these. Okay, well, we're just gonna go through it, y'all. Y'all with me still? Let me know if y'all with me and y'all want me to continue, because we had an hour and 30 minutes and we will have at least another hour. I do know that. Let me. It's late. Exactly, Marlena. 30 pages. That means he had a lot to say about something. Okay, Diamond Heart is saying if you're with me, just say we with you. If you want me to keep going, I don't want to hold y'all too late. I know I've been gone so long. I know y'all found other things to do with your time, and so I don't want to encroach on the other things you got going on since I've been leaving y'all hanging. So I don't want to. Y'all probably found somebody else on YouTube y'all like, and y'all like. I like him better, so or her better. So I don't want to be in y'all way. I want to get out your way if I need to. All right, let's keep the party going. Look like our responses are saying we got to keep the party going. Okay. We ain't gonna get through all 30 pages though. I'm pretty sure of that. But we're gonna do what we can do. And ain't no telling. Like it could be exhibits and stuff in here too. So we'll see. It says, so this is from Levantre Andrews, and he says, this is the statement of the nature of the matter before the court. It says, this is a case about bullying, intimidation, and using the federal court. On October 13th of 2022, plaintiffs, Larry LRL, and it's both Larry Reid and his company, filed this civil action against me. The defendant, and he gives his name, says plaintiff, well, I'll just say Larry Reid is an online personality who earns a good, typo, earns a good creating gossip content on social media platforms. Mr. Larry, and the funny thing about this is, y'all. Thanks, Alice. I see your message. The good thing, not the good thing. The funny thing about this is like it's in the old school typeset. So I think he might have somebody typed this on the typewriter. It says he is an online personality who owns a good creating gossip content on social media platforms. Mr. Reid may take credit for destroying many homes and churches via his gossip. Wow, we coming guns a-blazing. Says Mr. Reid's online platform is run through his company, LRL. Upon information and belief, Mr. Reid is a sole member of his organization. Mr. Reid abused me as a teenager. Now, okay, so it looked like to me he doubling down. He writing this to the court. A liar probably would back down at this point. We're in federal court. This would be time to give up and say, you got me. All right, I'm okay. Please don't. I don't have $350K. You got me. I give up. I stop. White flag. That ain't. He came out guns blazing. He loading this clip. All right, let's see. We in it now. This is what y'all asked for. Says, Mr. Reid may take credit for destroying many homes and churches via his gossip. Mr. Reid's online platform is run through his... Oh, I went too far, y'all. Upon information and belief, Mr. Reid is the sole member... I went too far, y'all. Okay, Mr. Reid abused me as a teenager, using his spiritual role to lure me into homosexual contact acts with him when he was my pastor and spiritual leader. I stumbled, so I'm going to reread to make sure we are all clear on what Levantre has doubled down to say. He says, Mr. Reid abused me as a teenager, using his spiritual role to lure me into homosexual contact and acts with him when he was my pastor and spiritual mentor. How God feel about that? Like you're using him to take advantage of people. I know the devil happy, but what about God? Thankfully, I was able to escape Mr. Reid's deviant lifestyle and move on. I thought he left you. Didn't he say he left him? Says, however, at times, Mr. Reid lies about the past, and I am called on to speak the truth about the interactions between Mr. Reid and I, which I deem as abuse. That's another shot, doubling down. Admittedly, Mr. Reid makes a lot of money from gossip and has a huge following. Yeah, that's usually how the predators continue to get away with stuff, because they have a lot of enablers who like, you can't be a liar because I like you. You can't be what they saying because I like you. You want some more of my money? Jesus, help them, Lord. Says, when the church, that was a Freudian slip. When the church says, when the truth interferes with his brand, he uses his resources to intimidate. True. Here, Mr. Reid caused a national stir when he suggested that Bishop Lamore Whitehead staged a robbery of his own church in Brooklyn, New York. I ain't got nothing to say about that. As a result, Bishop Whitehead began to criticize Mr. Reid for his lies and sued him for $20 million. Did he? What happened with that? Says Bishop Whitehead looked into Mr. Reid's past and discovered me and my story. Told you I did. Bishop Whitehead interviewed me. I spoke the truth. Now Reid seeks to silence me. That's what they do. Y'all already know they've tried to silence me. Not connected to Larry Reid, but the Darius Crook stuff. They've tried to silence me. Y'all know. Those of y'all who've been around, y'all know. Y'all be and the moderators in this chat, y'all know because y'all be blocking them. Says, okay, the concise statement of facts. We're not going to read this. Yeah, it's just like a line, and it'll say like what's true. They had the defendant is a domicile of had a domicile in Georgia, all this stuff. Okay, so that means we can skip that page. We just want the nitty gritty. Oh, okay. Wait, I don't want to skip. Yes, I do. Okay, so it says questions presented. So these are the questions that matter in this case, in order for it to continue. It says whether all parties are citizens of the state of Georgia, whether this court has the personal jurisdiction over defendant, so that's Levantre, whether venue is proper in this jurisdiction, whether venue is proper in this judicial district by law, whether service upon defendant's mother is sufficient by law. Oh, okay, so they served his mom, not him. They served Levantre's mom. So it says whether the service of defendant's mother is sufficient by law, whether plaintiff state a claim for its four state law claims. I don't know what that means. Whether plaintiffs failed to join a party under Rule 19. I don't know what that means either. That's legal stuff. Statute and authorities. So this is, his attorney breaking down, okay, like in order for this to even be legitimate, it would have to meet this criteria. And so they're giving all the criteria, and then they're breaking down what ain't being met out of the criteria. Again, y'all, this is my first time, so I'm trying I don't want to just start reading a bunch of legalese and bore us all to death. Okay, so I'm gonna read this part because this is important. This part is important. It says venue in general. So a civil action may be brought in a judicial district in which any defendant resides. If all defendants are residents of the state in which the district is located, a judicial district in which a substantial part of the events or omission given rise in the claim occurred, or a substantial party of the property is the subject of the actions and is situated. If there is no district in which an action may otherwise be brought as provided in this section, any judicial district in which any defendant is subject to the court's personal jurisdiction with respect to such actions. So basically, whether or not this particular court has jurisdiction over Levantre as the defendant. So they have the arguments. I'm looking for the nitty gritty, y'all. Y'all know we might not need to. We might be almost done, y'all. So they're putting in here definitions of what the domicile means. There's some case law in here. Yeah, this looks like a bunch of legalese, a bunch of other case law. So his attorney put this together. This court does not have personal Okay, so we get to this part. It says, this court does not have personal jurisdiction over defendant. Dismissal is an appropriate remedy if the federal court has no jurisdiction over the defendant. So then they use case law of an actual case where this was the case. Case law of a case where this was the case. I know what I said. It ain't make no sense, but I know what I said, and I meant it. Okay, so far, and I'm on page, only on page 9 though. So yeah, his attorney is Levantre. Sound like his attorney got their ish together. Because they gave 30 pages to be like, don't play with us. Not only is he gonna start this off by doubling down on everything he just said, everything you say is a lie, but on top of that, I'm finna fill your time up with 29 pages of case law, and I'm finna break down how stupid y'all are for filing this the way y'all did. It's probably, and it's really like a warning shot to say, if I'm gonna do all this just to get this dismissed, imagine what I'll do if you're able to actually make this a court case. I'm going to this trial, y'all. I'm going to this one. Y'all get ready. If it becomes one, probably won't. But if it does, I'll be there. Yeah, I mean, they're just breaking down. I'm on page 21 now. I'm just scrolling down. I'm looking for the nitty gritty of what y'all. Let me see. Okay, here we go. We might have something right here. Let me make sure I didn't go too far though. Okay, here we go. So we jump down to the part where it says none of the plaintiff's alleged statements about the defamation. None of the plaintiff's alleged statements amount of defamation of any form. Plaintiffs failed to analyze the statements with any of the elements of defamation, which means the legal defamation, the legal criteria for what is considered defamation. They're supposed to lay it out. They ain't do that. They just spewed a bunch of gossip like he does on his channel and stuff. It says including but word vomit. Word vomit is what we read. Says including but not limited to the defamation and slander per se. Mr. Reid has in the public admitted to homosexual conduct. Told y'all. This is legal. This is a legal document. This ain't what Val B said. Legal document. This ain't just me repeating what I heard that Tasha K said. Legal document states. Hold on. Y'all be playing with me. Quit playing with me. Because I'm doing this for the detractors. Because even though I ain't seeing none of their comments, I know they're here. So y'all see that's there right there. It says Mr. Reid has in public admitted to homosexual conduct, i.e. same-sex conduct. That's all. Just want to show y'all that. Go back to private because the reason I ain't got this whole document up there is because it's some stuff that wasn't redacted, and I want to be putting everybody's name out there and addresses of the people who aren't predators. So, and I don't know where stuff is, so I just keep it off screen. Okay, so it says, as a matter of fact, in one public interview on Zoe Ministries, I don't know what that is, Mr. Reid, in a response to a discussion about molestation, I'm trying to say the word without saying the word, he coined the act as exploration. So not molestation, but, and you know the word I'm trying to say, y'all, don't play with me, but exploration. A minister, a man of the cloth, would reduce something so serious to make it, because he's talented in that way, and he does. Oh, you said that's Zoe Ministries is Bernard Jordan Ministries, Miss Wilson. Thank you for that. Yes, it's not M station, it's exploration. Interesting. So it says, notwithstanding and foregoing, Black Law Dictionary defines, and it gives the word, they defined it. They went to the dictionary. They went to the dictionary. And it says, the M word. Okay, I was reading ahead a little bit to make sure I don't read no words I shouldn't say. I can't say on YouTube. It says the persecution or harassment of someone. The act of making unwanted and indecent advances to or on someone for S gratification. No one by definition are any of the alleged statements quoted by Mr. Reid in his complaint criminal in nature or otherwise defamatory. Because if it's true, it ain't defamatory, is what this is their position here. Says furthermore, as a limited public figure, allege absolutely no facts to demonstrate that the statements were also made with negligence or actual malice. Yeah, because it's like, well, I'm not making this up. I'm stating facts of what happened in my life. That's not malicious to state facts of what happened in my life. I'm just clarifying. Says considering the foregoing, plaintiff's alleged claims for defamation and slander per se must be dismissed pursuant to, and then they give legal background of legalese. This is why. Yep. Okay, so it says plaintiff failed to state the claim for intentional infliction of emotional distress. So remember those 4 parts that he wants $75K for each. They're breaking down each one of them and why it's some BS to them. I'm only reading stuff that's content worthy. Like I stopped at that part that was a little more content worthy. So bear with me. I'm browsing. We here. Chat amongst yourselves till I stop again. Okay, so here we go again. I'm sorry. Interrupt y'all too quick. Oh, wait, hold on. I'm going to go a little higher. Okay, so then they explain, it says the conduct, basically this claim of extreme and outrageous conduct. And so they define what outrageous conduct is and what decency is and all that. They breaking it down. I love a good attorney. So it says, we break down to this part where it says the defendant speaking truth statements about his sexual contact with Mr. Reid may be embarrassing and uncomfortable to Mr. Reid, but it cannot be said that the conduct crosses the high bar set by the courts, going beyond all possible bounds of decency and regarded as atrocious and utterly intolerable in the civilized community. So pretty much they're saying, we've said it's not decent. It's an atrocious act. It's utterly intolerable in civilized communities. That's what we call it. Nothing malicious about it. It's just facts. Says the plaintiff failed to state a claim for the intentional infliction of emotional distress. Therefore, the defendant motions to dismiss plaintiff's purported infliction of emotional distress should be granted pursuant to, and then they give another legalese, case law. They just bringing each one of them down. So far, I would have lost 150K because the first and second ones, it's just like you ain't getting that. They just proved, you didn't prove it. Okay, so the third one is the plaintiff fails to state the claim for unfair, deceptive trade practices. Bunch of, they break that down in a legalese kind of way. Blah, blah, blah. And we blah, 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 and some more. And plaintiffs demonstrate. Okay, so we on. So it says plaintiff failed to join a required party under the rule. Plaintiffs failed to demonstrate that the defendant published anything. Because the defendant, he didn't publish nothing. He went on an interview, but he didn't create any of these things. Actually, the plaintiff appears to concede in their pleadings that a third party published the alleged defamatory statements causing damage to plaintiffs. Because he don't own Whitehead's platform. Because that's what he's claiming hurt him was Whitehead's platform. Well, Levantre ain't in charge of Whitehead's platform and his viewers. It says, therefore, the plaintiffs cannot be afforded full relief without joining the persons, meaning Whitehead would have had to be included in this particular suit in order for that to be able to be a part of this case. Says plaintiff to okay, so we got that. So it says, in conclusion, have we made this in the end already? Look at that. Look at God. Won't he do it? So it says, conclusion, based on the complaint, there is no basis for federal jurisdiction. Further, the evidence before the court shows no diversity of citizenship. Alternatively, if there is subject matter jurisdiction, this court does not have personal jurisdiction over defendant. Venue is improper in this judicial district. Service of process was insufficient. Plaintiff complaint, one has failed, because remember, they served his mom, Levantre's mom instead of him. Says he failed to state grounds upon which relief can be granted. And it says a plaintiff failed to join one or more parties under Rule 19. So that means all parties involved in, again, because he's saying this YouTube, these interviews were a problem. It should have been Levantre and Whitehead and I guess the other YouTuber. I don't know if that person died. I heard somebody say the YouTuber died. I don't know. I don't know. I'm hearing so much, y'all. I could have it all. I don't know if it's that particular person. Says, therefore, defendant's motion to dismiss pursuant to Rule 12 must be granted. And they got granted in all caps. They ain't playing. Must grant this. We ain't asking, judge. Grant this. Says, if the motion to dismiss pursuant to Rule 12B, blah, 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 is granted, then the motion to dismiss pursuant to 12B, blah, 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 would be moot. Otherwise, this court may dismiss this action pursuant to, and then it gives a bunch of legalese, as most appropriate. Wait a minute. Levantre did this document himself. It's pro se. He did this document himself. He might not be one to play with. Wait a minute. Let me make sure I don't want to be misquoted. Literally at the end, because I'm looking for the attorney's name. See, I don't want to put his person. I don't want to put his information out here, so I can't. I want to show y'all to be like, help me. Like, do y'all see something I'm missing? But it says respectfully submitted. It has Levantre's signature. It has his full name, his address, a phone number, his email, and it says plaintiff pro se, which means he's representing himself. I thought this was an attorney, y'all. I could just end this live right here. This just sent me. He did this himself. Y'all saw I had to skip like 20 pages. He did that himself. Did he hire an attorney and paid them some money to send him this stuff? What? I got a whole nother level of respect for him. Wow. And he's well, at the time of filing this, let me see if I'll read this part to y'all. Yeah, I'll read this part to y'all. So this is his affidavit in support of his motion to dismiss. So it says, Levantre swear under penalty of perjury that the following statements are true and correct and based on my personal knowledge, except statements upon information and belief. But basically, it's an affidavit stating, what's true or whatever about him. So it says, he is the defendant in the above title action. So he's agreeing to that. He's saying he's 32 years old. He's 32. He don't sound dumb. Like, even, I don't know, even to be able to go pro se, even if he got help from an attorney, that takes a level of intellect. He's a natural born citizen of the U.S. He says he has lived in Georgia since 2015 to present. So that means that this was filed in North Carolina, right? Yes, it was filed in North Carolina. It actually needs to be refiled in Georgia, which is great because I love going to Georgia anyway. And so we'll be in Atlanta, which y'all know I love to go there. So I'll be back in Atlanta covering stories. Let's see. He says he intends to remain in Georgia. So there again, that's if this gets refiled, that's what we'll be for the trial, if there is one. He says he has not been served, processed in this pending action. I mean, the fact that he would know that his mom being served was improper. Wow, y'all. I don't know. This could be again. It does say he's pro se, and I do know this from the Darius Crook stuff when he represented himself in the very beginning. Even though he was claiming he had an attorney, but he told the court he was pro se. It's the whole thing. So I know what that means. I've learned more and more about these whole court things from the Tim Norman thing and the Darius Crook stuff and all of that. So yeah, it's saying he even gives his mom's a name and address where they actually served. They served his mom because he don't even live in North Carolina. He actually live in the same state as as Larry. Larry and wait, is he? I think he's in Atlanta. I'm pretty sure he's in Atlanta. Okay, that's good enough. That's good enough. That's good enough. That's good. That's good. I'm still looking. Why I'm saying that's good, but that's good. Let's make sure I ain't missing nothing. He even has his ID. I'm not, of course, I'm not showing y'all that. But even his Georgia driver's license, they redacted his address and stuff, but his full Georgia driver's license is on here as well. So, unfortunately, Alice was having issues. Hopefully, she was able to start some comments for me though. But I'm going to go through some of the comments, and then I ain't gonna hold y'all too much longer. Oh, it's not bad. It's not. I was afraid we weren't gonna get off here till 11 my time. Says we are. Oh my God, my eyes are like, I don't know why the print got so small for me. We all are ready for this, and remember everyone to watch it. Like, oh, okay, yeah. I am no longer surprised by anyone's action, especially from church folks. Amen, sister. Delane, yes, Delone. I am with you. Trikesha, I need to watch this interview. Yes, watch that one. I'll put the links in our Patreon of what y'all should be watching. There's another one too that I just ran into that I was watching in the gym for a little while, and then honestly I couldn't continue to stomach. I'll send it to you. I ain't gonna say too much. Y'all know I don't say everything on here, but I talk on Patreon a little bit more unfiltered. It says, "Let me find out." Larry Reid screaming, "I didn't do it! I didn't do it!" Oh yes, I saw Eddie Long with Young Men years ago. I mean, yeah. I mean, when I was a kid, I heard about Eddie Long, Bishop Eddie Long, and back then it was like, suspicious whispers. By the time I was a grown man, it was like, oh, everybody know, but it was like the church was still hiding it until I don't know what something went down where it became undeniable or something. Somebody, maybe the same, pedo allegations is what finally ended his reign. But even then, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, with Bishop Eddie Long, he didn't go to jail or nothing. It was just they what do they call it when they get rid of you out the church? They made him step down, and then I think they still pay him a salary and stuff, right? Didn't he kind of retire that way or something? They like forced him into retirement. The church will cover you, it's just, absolutely insane that the church will cover it. Sin if you're at a high enough position. You're saying okay, it's just everybody else's ain't. Parents, stop leaving your children alone with people, period. Amen to that, sister. Pam's perspective. Pink Pearls. Maybe I missed something, but has Larry denied that he had relationship with these men? Yeah, he's he's denying that any of this is true. Yeah. I don't know what else to do with that. It says, what's the statute of limitation on this? Go to court. Yeah, I'm not sure about that part. This is new. Digging this deep is newer to me. Again, I've heard about this. I've seen things. I've seen videos, etc. But I haven't dug. So I don't know, because that's kind of been a question in my mind too. But I think it has to be the statute of limitation based on, and then also this is something that's not very easy to prove. I mean, let's keep it real, y'all. I bet probably 90 to 99% of y'all have either been a victim, a survivor of something like this, or know someone close to you who has. This is rampant. This ain't unique. So, and what we also know about it is that most survivors don't speak about it. And sometimes when they speak about it, most times when they speak about it, they're not believed. Or they don't have, there's not a way to prove it. There's things that happen to me that happen. I don't need to lie about it. And these people aren't public figures, but I can't prove it, but it don't mean it didn't happen. Don't disregard the trauma in my life because I can't prove it. I can't go back to my 5-year-old self and grab that person, or there was no camera phones. I didn't be like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Like, it still happened. So I think we have to be careful with the victim blaming, especially when things add up this much. This much. Like, let's stop it. Just be silent. Be silent. Just leave it alone. Be silent. But don't victim blame. Don't re-victimize people by having them harmed in such a way, and then you reharm them years later when they finally have healed enough to even be able to speak their truth. Don't do that, because that's going to come back on you. And God forbid it happen to anyone you love and your child. So slow down. Yes, I'm unique. Says people who groom children need God in their life because Satan is grooming them. Yeah, the problem is Satan used to be an angel, and I think people forget that. And people get real lost. So if Satan used to be an angel, that means Satan knew God, spirituality, gospel. He sung. He was a musician, made beautiful music. He was Satan. Satan was an angel. So y'all got to quit getting fooled by people who are great orators, who, are creatives, who look great, who speak well, who entertain you. That don't mean that they are not evil. Satan has two faces too. And again, like I said in the beginning, Satan will bless people as well. So wealth does not inadvertently mean that God is in the presence of it. Satan will bless people to do his evil deeds as well. I don't know. Thank you, Devon Douglas, for sharing. My prayers are with you for sure. Mikey Stone says, I need all people involved to take a lie detector test, and let's move on. Well, you can easily move on, but when we talk about the people, again, like I said, the people who've been through this, I wish somebody would tell me to move on. Let me get out my feelings, because I just expressed what has come to happen to me that I can't prove, because I was 5 years, like, and there was other times too. I can't prove those things. I have no proof, but they happen. So again, if it didn't happen to you, if it's not your thing, just you move on. But you can't expect the people to move on from what has affected them, obviously. And this is a grown man, who's lived his life, and it's still his story. And we can't take that away from him. So did he report this at the time he was 15? I don't know the exact age, but as we saw, there was a police report. What is that? 2018 that I just read. I'm not sure when this comment came through. Janae, I think Vincent. But yeah, so I don't know when your comment came through, but we did read the part, and I don't know if you saw it, but we did read the part of there was a police report filed in 2018. I have filed police reports for various things. I've had houses broken into. I've had cars stolen, things of that nature. Just because you file a police report don't mean people follow up. I don't know. Is this just me who has this other perspective? Like I'm not a part of the matrix? Is it just me? Help me. Because everybody wants documents now. Everything is about where's your video on this? Where's your receipt? Well, I grew up in a time that we didn't have receipts. It was based on your discernment, based on people being able to give literally a detailed account of they had a zebra print blanket and they were butt naked, and they years later gave me that zebra print blanket as a gift, like saying that was their prayer cloth. Like those kind of details. Like that's a receipt, like for me. I don't know, y'all. I mean, I get it, because y'all see how I roll. When I come to y'all on this platform, I don't just be talking. I give y'all receipts. I give y'all visuals, because I know what world we're in. However, I also understand that just because you don't have a receipt don't mean shit didn't happen. And we got to stop that. Like, we got to stop that. Thank you so much. I'm handling these comments by myself, but you just put the nail on the head. People right. People love to protect predators. And it's really, it's a selfish mindset, because when it really boils down to it, they're really protecting themselves, because they don't want to lose something. They don't want to lose the idea of this person that they put on this pedestal. In order for me to admit and accept that this person that I put on a pedestal is flawed and has committed a heinous act on multiple people in different ways. We ain't just talking about this situation. There's other stuff out here too in the internet streets. But in order for me to accept that and admit that, I then lose something. I lose this person who was my daily entertainment, who was my friend in my head, my internet friend in my head, my internet pastor, whatever, my internet cook, my internet boyfriend, hopefully my future gay husband, with Darius Cook's followers. That's what it is. It's more about them than that person. If I admit and accept, and some of these people, even when the people go down, like I've even said it, if and when Darius Crooks ever ends up in federal prison, some of those same people will be putting money on his book and trying to go visit him, without a doubt, because they have been love bombed and they've been groomed. This is a whole thing. I keep saying it, and it's true. I've actually been putting together stuff on cults and these parasocial relationships that exist in this social media space. I don't know, lately it's just been heavy on me, because I see so much behind the scenes, and because I am an influencer and I know how things work. And so I can clearly see when people are grooming their audience and the manipulation that occurs. And it's the people that people hold in the highest esteem. And I ain't no hater. Perfect. Great. Have 1 million subscribers. I don't care. Beautiful. Because what God has for you is for you, if it's of God. And what God has for me is for me. Like, I don't want your stuff. I've been created for my own individual purpose. So when I speak on a scammer or a predator, I'm gonna fuck about what you got going on. It's the fact that you're a scammer and a predator and you're harming God's people. That's what I care about. I ain't trying to be you. I want to be you. You look funny. Why would I want to be you? No, stop. So people protect themselves simply because the predator has something over them that could destroy the victim. And yeah, that's true too. Fab and good vibes. My eyes, y'all are crossing. I think we're gonna call this. Thank you so much, Damaris Alexander. I think I'm sorry. I think somebody gave a super chat earlier, and I don't even think I acknowledged it. I'm sorry if I forgot. I was trying to stay on track with my notes and my thoughts, and I'm a little rusty, y'all. But you know, we've been on here 2 hours. That's enough. It's time to go. And I've probably done a lot of shit and said a lot of stuff that's gonna get some dust stirred up around these platforms. And that wasn't my goal, but I had to say what was on my heart. Like, I honestly planned on doing a whole different kind of live, and I was gonna be real like middle of the road and unbiased. And I'm sorry, y'all. I tried. I'm sorry. I couldn't be unbiased. The love bombing is so sad. People don't even realize that it's being done to them. Yes, Don, absolutely. This is why I want to start talking about it, because yes, I'm trying to build our community, but I don't want y'all putting me on no pedestal like I'm some god and I'm infallible, and I ain't no criminal now. Don't get me wrong. Y'all ain't got to worry about hearing about Vail robbed banks 10 years ago and, you know, got children buried in his basement. You ain't got to worry about none of that. But what I am also saying is I am not a perfect human being. And so I have a bad day. I've cursed some people out. Yeah, I've done it on here. So don't put me on no pedestal like that, because that's not what this is about. This is about us. This ain't about y'all making me a god and I just feed off of y'all and make money and brag to y'all about what I'm buying. Like, that's so unfulfilling for me. I don't know, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just not in the matrix. I'm on the matrix. The social media is the matrix. I'm in it. I make a living from it, but I swear I ain't a part of it. I really ain't. Devon Douglas says, as a child, I didn't have the physical receipts. And yes, it was someone very close to the family. As you, yeah, exactly. It's always, well, many times, the majority of the times, it is people close to the family. My situation, these people were in the interfolds for sure. Are you going to Terica's? Oh, thank you for this Power Dynamics for Life, because I did mean to mention this a little earlier and totally forgot. Yes, I am going to Terica's sentencing, which is on this coming Tuesday. Was it January 24th? Something like that. I will be there. I'm going to double check and make sure they ain't changed the date again, because y'all know how they do. So I'm going to jump on, check the date. If it is going to happen, I will be there. Please help a brother out, because I wasted $326 on the Airbnb I reserved for it was supposed to be on the 10th or 11th of this month, and I forgot to cancel that Airbnb and reschedule it. And by the time I realized it was literally the night before, and they told me, I'm sorry. And I was like, I'm not going to drive to St. Louis just to stay in the Airbnb, and I got nothing to do there. So yeah, yeah. Every little bit helps, y'all. This is rough out here. And I will look into the transcripts. I've been getting questions about the Tim Norman transcripts for the trial, because I guess y'all still want me to do the actual transcripts. So that's the plan. And they are available, but they are available at an extraordinary, astronomical cost right now. If I ordered them now, I would have to get them from the court stenographer, and they are, if I'm not mistaken, they were somewhere between $3,000, something or more, somewhere up in there, thousands of dollars. Whereas if I wait till I think March, they get released on the digital Pacer platform. Thank you so much, Power Dynamic for Life. But if I wait until I think it's March, then they're at a fraction of the cost. They like a couple pennies per 10 cents per page or something like that. So that's why I haven't jumped on it. Just so y'all know. So I do plan to do it, and I'm interested in doing it, because it's going to be interesting, because I get to give it to y'all verbatim, and I was actually there. Like, I know what was happening in these particular moments, and y'all know how we do. So I'm looking forward to that. And that'll be a time where I'll start getting on live, every evening for a certain period, so that we can get through it, because it's a lot. Right. Wait for the 10 cent per page. Exactly. Like, we ain't in no rush. I was there. I gave y'all a summary. Are you going to continue the scammer series? Not necessarily M Crooks. Yes, I am. Yeah, I'm working on some things, but yes, absolutely. Absolutely. We can't wait. Thank you, Marianne. All right, please look into doing a. Oh, it's so funny you mentioned this, Chef Way. Tomorrow I'm gonna talk about this tomorrow. I'm gonna come on live tomorrow during the day, and we're gonna talk about this Chef Way thing, because I literally have researched it. It is in my notes, and I was gonna come live last week, and it was gonna be a part of a Hot Topics live with a bunch of stuff. But we're gonna talk about this tomorrow. So thank you for even reminding me and letting me know you're interested in the Chef Way thing. It's interesting, y'all. So y'all will see me tomorrow. Holding y'all no longer. Thank you. Please hit that like button. I have no idea how many likes we have. We have 219 likes. I don't know how many people are left in here. We got 289 people currently watching and 219 likes. So there are 70 of y'all who ain't showing me no love, and that really hurts my feelings, because it's a lot, and I came on here missing y'all, and obviously you're not missing me, because you can't even give me a thumbs up. All right, well, on that note, I will see y'all tomorrow. He needs to be fired. I don't know who we're talking about. Is that Chef Way you're talking about? Yes, good evening, everyone. I'm gonna keep looking at. I'll read y'all chat messages after the live, because now I'm like, let me catch up and see what y'all was saying. But anyway, I will be live on tomorrow during the day, probably somewhere around lunchtime. But I'll send out a schedule and send it in our VIP text group and all that good stuff. So if you're not a part of that, it is in our description area and in this chat. Actually, it's pinned at no, it ain't. No, it ain't. But anyway, find it. It's on our page in our description area, our VIP text group, and also our VIP Facebook community. So with that, thank you all. I really appreciate y'all for hanging with me, even when I go MIA, you know, dealing with all this stuff, the seasonal stuff. I really appreciate y'all. So with that, y'all have a great night. Till next time, take care and be blessed. Peace.